Two people managed to escape the blaze. The 5 deceased were 4 males aged 6, 18, 22 and 24 and a 46-year-old female. A woman aged 45 and a 3-year-old managed to get out of the house with minor injuries. The cause of the fire is still being investigated. For more on the story now, let's cross live to our colleague Ofenze Sitimo. Ofenze, do we know what caused the fire?
Thank you very much, Desiree. What I can tell you is that the law enforcement authorities are still trying to establish the cause of the fire that actually claimed the lives of about 5 family members here in Kekni village in Pretoria West. Well, it's not yet clear, as I initially mentioned, but I'm joined here by the Tshwane Emergency Services, Charles Mabaso, to actually elaborate a bit further on what transpired. Mr. Mabaso, thank you so much for your time. If you can just tell us what exactly transpired in the early hours of this morning.
Thank you and good morning to yourself and the viewers. During the early hours of this morning, around 1:30, emergency services received a call that a house was on fire and with people still trapped inside. And upon arrival on the scene, firefighters were told by bystanders, as well as a female of about 46, that there are still 5 people inside the house. Upon initiating firefighting, breaking into the house, 2 bodies were immediately located, but unfortunately they had passed on. And when they continued with firefighting, the 3 other bodies were then located during the tamping down or cooling down of the house as the fire was put under control.
Yes. And we understand that there were 2 people that actually survived the blaze. What is their condition at the moment? Are they hospitalized? How are they doing?
Yeah, thank you. You know, before I could speak about their condition, I would like to, honor a neighbor, who was brave. According to the information that we received, he drove from work as he was informed about the incident, and when he arrived, he tried to break the window of a bedroom with a spade, and after failing with a spade, he then managed to get an axe, broke the window, and then the mother gave him the 3-year-old child, and then after taking the 3-year-old child to the safety, he also came back for the mother and helped her out to safety. Unfortunately, the fire was too much for him to continue assisting the other members. And as we speak now, the mother only escaped with a laceration on the forehead, but the child suffered smoke inhalation only, and they were transported to Pretoria Hospital for further observation. As we speak now, they are still being observed at the hospital.
Yes, if we can just get out of shot so that my colleague can just zoom into the house itself, and then we can actually just speculate, if we may, because we understand this is a subject of investigation. Just by judging by the house, you can see that the roof is completely collapsed, and there seems to be some burn marks here on the sliding door in the living room and on the window here. So would you speculate maybe to say that the fire could have started maybe from the living area or from the sleeping area?
From where we are now, it is obviously, of course, because there is exits. When you have exits, that is where the fire will exit. But we cannot at the moment directly point from the outside as to where the fire started. But if one were to go inside the house, there would be telltales and some marks, that are left by the intensity of the fire that would be able to then bring you to a closer determination as to where the fire really originated.
But is there maybe a cause of concern of maybe criminality that might have taken place, or it's still too early to speculate on that aspect?
It's still too early to speculate on that, but the saying from the neighbors is that at the time the incident happened, there was no electricity in the area. It could have happened that electricity returned, or maybe they used another form of lighting during the time where there was electricity and left it behind. And that is only speculations only. And so far, I would like to advise people to say that should they experience load shedding, it is best to, switch off essential house utensils, and if you were using maybe some form of heating, to switch them off, ensure that they are unplugged from the wall. And if you were maybe using a gas stove during load shedding and having put it on top of an electrical stove, make sure that after cooking you remove the gas stove, or don't even put it on top of the stove. Put it elsewhere where it is safe, and so that if electricity returns with some kind of a surge, then the house is safe at all times.
Thank you very much. Well, as you heard there, Desiree, that's Charles Mabaso of the Tshwane Emergency Services, actually saying that during the time when the fire broke out early this morning, there was no electricity in this area. So it's not clear whether maybe load shedding might have played a part, or maybe they had something lit in order to ensure that there's some visibility inside the house. But as investigations progress, that's when we'll actually establish the truth behind the blaze that claimed the lives of about 5 family members here in Kekni in Pretoria West. And with that, it's back to studio.
Again, our condolences to the family imagine losing 5 members of your family all at once. Thanks, Ofense, for that update.